Hey henchmen, I know that things here on the channel have been heavy recently, and I decided that in order to help balance everything out, I'd start this new series here on the channel called OC Rundown. In this series, I'll choose one of my many OCs and introduce you to them, their story and their history, accompanied by plenty of art revolving around said character. For this first episode, I have decided on Mercy. The reason I'm not doing my Persona character is, well, I'm still revamping his backstory, and a lot of the characters that are important to him and his backstory are in the line to be redesigned, revamped, and just redone in general. Not to mention I need to finish the world building for his world. It's a lot. The reason I've chosen Mercy, though, however, is that I've revamped and redesigned Mercy recently. I've done their backstory, and I'm proud of how their design came out. Though I still need to world build for Mercy's world, and Mercy is also a part of a group that I am reworking and redesigning, it is not important for me to finish them as it is for me to finish Axel's characters. Before we move on, I just want to say that if you are curious about this character, you can find the Character Hub and Artfight profiles linked down below. Please take a look at them if you have the time. Quick trigger and content warnings before we hop into Mercy's introduction. Mercy is a very dark and disturbing character. Mercy's story carries themes, references, depictions, and descriptions of abduction, human experimentation, dehumanization, disassociation, medical malpractice, vivisection, graphic body alteration, blood, and death. If you are sensitive or triggered by any of these topics, please click off now. Put yourself and your well-being first. Mercy, formerly Mercy Shinko, and we'll get into why they no longer have a last name in the character history section, is a living doll entity who acts as a ruthless and efficient serial killer. Mercy stands at 5 feet 7 inches and weighs about 100 pounds. This makes sense as Mercy is mostly felt and stuffing, with very little flesh and metal bits to them. Mercy has blonde hair, is Caucasian, and has a very unique set of eyes. Mercy has one normal human eye that is bright blue, and their other eye is a large green button sewn onto the socket. It appears Mercy can use this button as a normal eye, as Mercy has perfectly normal depth perception. Across Mercy's cheeks are scars that were hand-sewn and repaired by Mercy. It does not alter their speech, and Mercy does not speak on how they got these scars. Mercy is agender, and uses it/them pronouns, and lacks any sexual organs due to their own alterations. Nobody knows if Mercy was born female or male, and this includes Mercy themselves. We'll get into it. As for sexual and romantic preferences, Mercy is aromantic asexual. It has no interest in sex, romance, or anything in between. The only lust Mercy experiences is bloodlust, and again, Mercy removes the need for any sex organs, and they don't produce waste, leaving them, well, smooth as a Ken doll. Mercy has a nimble build, and instead of arms, they have long sleeve-like appendages that move like their arms would. Mercy seems to have complete control over how they move, despite the lack of muscle. Attached to the end of these sleeves are 3 metal claws, sewn on by hand. These claws act as Mercy's main weapons and are extremely sharp. Mercy possesses the ability to change out its arms and jacket that covers the main body at any point. Mercy has a singular piercing on the right ear, a sewing needle on a fine silver chain. Mercy uses the sewing needle to fix any damage done to their body on the go. Mercy hunts at night, and assuming the form of a doll. Lures in young children. Once brought home, Mercy begins to stake out the place, learning routines and placements. Once Mercy strikes, Mercy is ruthless. Not even the child that brought them home is spared. The family is killed, and much like what happened to them, Mercy turns their victims into dolls. Mercy is more likely to target a family if one of the parents is scientists or doctors due to their own trauma. Mercy also suffers from PTSD and psychosis, and Mercy, though physically about 20, is ageless and immortal. Yeah, Mercy's not a good person. I knew that when I created them. I didn't want them to be a good person. They are violent and efficient and feel no remorse. This does not make me a bad or evil person. Just because I created and wrote this character does not mean I endorse what they do, what they are, or their actions and morals. I just feel the need to put that out there. Mercy doesn't really have that long of a backstory that goes really into depth, and that's by design. And please, for the love of everything that is wicked and sully, please heed the content and trigger warnings that were issued earlier in this video. This is where a majority of them will come into place. Also, please remember that just because this character has a semi-sympathetic backstory and trauma, it does not excuse their actions and crimes. Some people do bad things because they were hurt, but that does not mean that they should not be held responsible and face consequences. On to Mercy's backstory. Mercy could not tell you where they came from or who they are. Not anymore, at least. All they could remember was the lab, and that one night a group of strange men abducted them on a mad quest for immortality. The scientists rambled and talked about how Mercy would be the perfect specimen for finding the key to immortality. Mercy was young, in good health and shape. Besides, if Mercy died, the scientists would just move on to the next subject. Mercy was put through hell. They were poked and prodded at day after day. Mercy was pushed to their physical limits and past them, running tests until Mercy collapsed and was tossed back into their almost too small cell. One day was different than the rest. A group of the scientists came into Mercy's cell. Mercy did its best to fight them off, but was ultimately overpowered and dragged into a room Mercy had never seen before. Mercy was strapped down to a cold metal table. The surgical lights were blinding, and it wasn't long before the procedure began. Mercy was kept alive and awake during the whole goddamn thing. Limbs were torn off, organs were removed and replaced with stuffing. Mercy felt it all, and it was painful. One of Mercy's eyes were also removed. The scientists, the madmen, were chattering as they tore Mercy apart. They were claiming that the key for a human to become immortal is for them to no longer be human. If you can never die, never get hurt in a way that mattered, never grow old, then you could live forever. Once the procedure was done, Mercy was tossed back into the cell, left to adapt to their new body. It was left to the pain inflicted on them. Mercy was left in a state of shock for weeks. They went through the tests and checkups and then returned to its cell. When Mercy snapped out of it, they were pissed. What little sanity they had left was thrown out the window. Mercy went on its rampage, and it refused to stop until every human in this underground facility was dead. Blood splattered the walls. Screams echoed out before being silenced quickly. Mercy used whatever they could get their cloth limbs on to cause a massacre. Nobody was left alive, no matter how much they begged. Fighting back was pointless, as their own actions created an unstoppable monster. Mercy escaped and was left to roam the world. They had a taste for blood now, and they saw no reason to stop. Heavy shit, huh? Well, we'll be touching on it here and there, but this is the part where I talk about how Mercy came to be. And this isn't exactly the most interesting history. I first had the idea for Mercy back in the 8th grade during math class. I had sketched out their first ever design in the back of my notebook when I was supposed to be taking notes. Back then, Mercy was a creepypasta and self-insert. Is anybody surprised? The heart on their chest used to be the operator symbol, which is normally used to represent the Slender Man. I could go on a whole rant about the Slenderverse and creepypasta papadas for another day. Anyways, back then, Mercy was known as Mercy Shinko, and like I did back then, Mercy used she/her pronouns. I do not know where I got the last name or why I used it. Mercy was originally French and actually had an unnamed sister who was responsible for Mercy's doll-like state. I cannot remember the exact details of Mercy's original backstory, and I never wrote them down. Even if I did, those notebooks would be long gone. But from what I do remember, Mercy's sister killed them, but their unnamed uncle put them back together in this doll form. Mercy began killing and was found by the Slender Man and brought to the Slender Mansion, and became a proxy. It was Slender Man who gave them the doll form. And please comment if I just gave any of you flashbacks, and while down there, why not like and subscribe? I mostly post art, but sometimes I'll mix in these scripts videos. But that is all I can remember about what little I had for Mercy's initial backstory. At some point, I think it was early high school, I put Mercy on the shelf, never looking at them until I graduated high school and moved out. That's when I decided to revisit a bunch of old OCs and give them new life, and that included Mercy. I removed Mercy from their creepypasta origins, revamped their design, and gave them a new backstory. And now we have the Mercy of today. I also got rid of that random as hell last name. And much like myself, Mercy has come a long way. Mercy is not my oldest OC, but she's definitely up there. I like where Mercy is now, and I'm proud of the work I've done for it. If you like this video, please drop a like, and if you want to see more of me, please subscribe. Let me know your opinion on this video too, and if you want to see more like it. And if you like my art and want to see more, please check out my socials, linked in the description. I'll be posting all the art done in this video in the coming days. Donate to my GoFundMe campaign too. It will really help out with my long-term goals. I also have my Ko-Fi linked below. That's it for this video. Drink water, take your meds, and thank you so much for watching until the end. I have been your host, Axel is Online, and it has been a pleasure seeing you, my lovely henchman.